Hey guys, it's Andy Coleman. I got with me Josh Marriott. He's a real estate agent with EXP that turned YouTuber to actually attract agents through RevShare. Josh, it's so great to have you. Why don't you just introduce yourself?
Sure. Thanks for having me, Andy. So yeah, I've been in the business for 10 years and started as a general agent and then started learning that other agents need help. So started gearing more towards the philosophy of you can get everything you want in life if you just help enough other people get what they want.
Yeah. How does that work for you too? Because I know, you've been doing real estate for a long time and then eventually you got on YouTube. So just take us through the transition from real estate agent to YouTuber.
Yeah, so I've been doing real estate for a decade and I really didn't start getting active on YouTube until about a year ago. And I just watched other agents dominate on it essentially. Like I'd see a new agent come in, go straight YouTube and make a shitload of money and get a bunch of clients from it. So I was like, there's got to be something behind this. I'm going at it the old school way. So I started looking at how to put my content on YouTube. And I kind of let YouTube tell me what to create based on viewership. And I started noticing that I was getting more views on the stuff that was geared to agents, explaining how to do things, how to get leads. And that stuff just started doing better, different software solutions. Some of my better videos are just about CRMs, reviewing CRMs, reviewing the software, how they work, pros and cons and things like that. So yeah, I've been going down that rabbit hole.
Oh, that's awesome. So you get a lot of your, leads and stuff like that through real estate, through CRM. Is that like the niche that you focus on then?
Not necessarily. I would say my niche is mostly tech, anything technology based. I just mentioned CRM because it was one of my higher viewed videos, right? I made, a couple different videos reviewing CRMs. Agents are interested in what CRMs. In fact, that was the first question you asked me when we started talking is what CRM do you use? And it kind of threw me off because I use a lot of different CRMs for different reasons. And I've used a lot of different CRMs over the years and I've had reviews done on them. So it just tech in general, whether it's, the software you're using or how you're sending out mass blast emails or mass blast texts or, whatever you're using in general. That's kind of the videos that I've seen do better for me, at least in terms of viewership.
We were talking about CRMs before, we started recording and I'm on Constant Contact and I love it because I'm getting a 50% open rate, which is, I know, significantly higher than the industry standard, which is 10%. So just a side note too, I'm going to drop a link in the description below for anybody that wants to sign up. I'll give you 30% off if you sign up and you get all my templates. So just check out the link in the description. Hopefully you sign up too. At least try it for a month. You can cancel anytime.
Yeah, I'll check it out.
I mean, yeah, it's cheap. We talked about it before. It's cheap to do it. So what CRM are you using now? And what kind of results are you getting from it?
So it's kind of an odd question because I do a couple different things. So I don't necessarily sell myself anymore. I've stepped away from real estate sales personally. And so a traditional real estate CRM is not as useful to me as it is an agent that's still in production.
So you stepped away from real estate. So how are you making money right now if you're not doing direct sales?
Good question. So I started creating a team about 8 years ago and I grew a traditional team, 8 agents and an assistant. And whenever they made a sale, I got a percentage of the pie.
And how much percentage?
About 50%.
So what are you doing to get 50%? I'm always curious. Yeah, I'm always curious. You give them leads? What do you do?
Yeah, it's a combination, support, training, leads. So support in the form of not just support from me, but also from an assistant. Everyone on my team has some sort of admin support. So currently my team supports with video content creation, editing, as well as transaction coordination. So whenever something goes under contract, the agent has to spend a lot less time. It's an average of 20 hours they spend, which is taken off their plate so they can go back to converting and generating more leads, getting more clients, and then it kind of goes down the system.
Did you say 20 hours per deal?
That's the average amount of time that an average agent will spend from contract to close that they don't have to spend. Someone else can do that work.
Do you know what? That's news to me. I never knew it was 20 hours. I've been doing this for 4 years now. Wow.
And we're probably a lot faster. Now we're talking average agent. You've been doing this for a while.
No, that's interesting.
You're probably a lot faster. When someone says, hey, make me an amendment, you're probably like, boom, it's done.
Done.
But when you look at the average agent and someone says, hey, make me an amendment, they're like, okay, oh crap, I got to go to SkySlope. And then okay, where's that form again? Well, what form do I need? Whereas with an admin that's doing these over and over again, It's not taking them
Oh,
20 hours, but we're taking 20 hours
yeah.
off the plate of the average agent.
And because you got showings, I mean, final walkthroughs. I mean, there's so
Right.
many things, the lender discussions. I mean, there's a lot. I didn't realize 20 hours. I never looked at that
That's
stat
the
because it's
average,
interesting.
right? Yeah.
That's
So
interesting. That's interesting. I believe
it's
it too.
quite
So,
a bit.
because that's a lot. So it's
Yeah.
funny though, because I do rentals, right? We were talking about it a little bit before off camera, and I do rentals, and each rental deal I do, if you do an apartment strategy that I have, it's like 1 to 2 hours of work, literally
Yeah.
1 to 2 hours of work per deal. And then the MLS strategy I have, which is, kind of like townhomes, single families, even condos, that only takes 2 to 4 hours, like 4 hours max that you're spending per deal. So that's interesting because that's about what, 5 times less, sometimes. So actually, probably it's 3 hours, so probably like 6 to 7 times less work than a full sale, which is always why I've been telling agents all along. I want to get your thoughts on this because I've been telling agents, because you've been doing this 10 years. I've been telling agents, listen, guys, you could do rentals and you could do 5 times as many rentals in the exact same amount of time. And I guess you just
And you
proved my
get paid
point
faster
correct.
too.
You
Rentals
get
pay
way
quick.
faster.
Yeah.
Way faster. The average rental I get paid on is probably 2 weeks. Start to finish, I get paid 2 weeks from when I meet that lead. That's the average. Some are a little bit longer, 30 days. Some are a little bit less, like, 7 days. I've had deals done within 24 hours. Literally within 24 hours, I've had a deal done, got the lead, showed them the property, put the offer in, got accepted, and closed the final walkthrough within 24 hours.
That's
Get paid
awesome.
$2,000.
That's instant
Dude,
gratification. That's
instant,
like the
instant,
opposite
instant.
of our business because our business is
I know.
slow. You
I
you
know.
do activities, you don't even see any results for months or sometimes years.
Yeah, dude, I've had clients, for sale, purchase clients string me along for, like you said, literally. I have one client that keeps reaching out to me every like few months. Oh, I want to buy this house. I want to buy this house. Let me get pre-approved. Let me get pre-approved. I send them over to my lender. They try to get pre-approved. Something happens, and they postpone it. And it's been happening for years.
Oh yeah. No, it's rentals I have a love-hate with because I've seen a lot of my agents do really well with rentals. And because I have, especially the younger people, whenever their sphere is still renting, there's definitely a reason that you should focus on that because everyone you know is going to rent. When I came into the
Yeah.
business, our office did not do rentals at all. And the little old ladies that I
Wow.
learned from were absolutely against rentals. Whenever we got a rental call, we were like, call this other company. Here's their phone number. Click. And so I never even focused on them. I've only done, I would say, less than 5 rentals my entire career.
In 10
Mostly were
years.
sales. Yeah.
Holy
Yeah.
crap, that's crazy.
And
Holy
those
crap,
were
that's
only
great.
from
'Cause
people that I knew
what?
personally. I didn't mess with
Oh my God.
rentals. And
What was your
it's
experience? I'm just curious. What was your experience doing them?
well, I only worked with people that I personally knew. So it wasn't hard. It wasn't like a cold lead or anything. It was a hot
Yeah.
lead. Someone I knew
Yeah.
wanted to rent and they were going to work with me no matter what. So I didn't have to worry about wasting my time. Because in general, people think, risk reward, the higher the commission, the more time you're willing to risk. Like, for example, my first $1 million client, I did not have a pre-approval from for weeks. And I showed him
Ooh, big mistake.
20, 30 homes probably.
Oh,
I didn't
that
even,
just makes my
yeah,
skin shake.
I know, right? But I don't think I even had a buyer's rep. But it was my first $1 million client. I had, done a little bit of research on him, so I was pretty sure he could buy, and he did end up buying, which is great. I
Yeah,
met his
eventually.
boss, which was a multi-million-dollar client in the future, which was pretty cool too.
Wow. But that's
Um,
interesting because you said 20 to 30 showings. Each showing takes what, like an hour because you got to drive
oh,
back and
whew.
forth to different places.
So
Dude,
the
that you
guy,
probably
it
put in
was
like 40,
crazy.
50 hours.
Crazy, more than that. So he was
Whew.
very time intensive. He flew in from Singapore and did not have a car. I thought I was
Okay.
meeting him at the first house. He thought I was meeting him at the airport. So 10 minutes past our appointment, we're both calling each other. And he's like, "Where are you at?" I'm like, "Where are you at?" And he's like, "I'm at the airport." And I go to get him and I get a flat tire in the airport,
Yeesh.
like highway
Terminal.
area. And so I'm
Yeah.
calling him, I'm like FaceTiming him to prove it. Like, I got this flat tire. I promise I'm on the way.
Eh.
But and I was like covered in grease when I met him. But I showed him it must have been 20 or 30 homes that first weekend. We hung out the entire weekend. And then he came back into town about 2 weeks later, another weekend showing homes. He was the only person on my schedule the entire weekend. So it was
Let's do
definitely
the
a,
math on that, right? Because I'm just the
yeah.
whole thing you said before has just got me thinking
So,
now. You know,
so what's
like if
that?
you did,
Let's
let's just say you
say,
did what 60 hours, right? You said you probably spent about 60
yeah,
hours total on
60
this guy
hours.
to get $1 million deal. And what is that?
Yeah.
$25,000 commission, right? Give or take, like in
Yeah.
your
It was
pocket, 25
about,
grand.
when you cut in cuts and all that, I probably walked with 25 grand.
Let's do
Um,
the math on that, right? So
yeah.
$25,000 commission, and then you have to do about, let's just say 60 hours. That's, oh my God, 60 divided by 25,000. Am I doing this wrong or right? Is that how much is that per hour? I might be doing this wrong. 60 hours
It's
divided
probably
by
like 500
200,
bucks an hour.
five, $500 an hour.
Yeah.
60, 60 hours. And oh yeah, I was like $400 an hour. That's not terrible, I guess, actually, if
I'm
you
not
think about it.
complaining, and
Yeah, that's not
people,
even terrible.
it's really not. I mean, people think that, the thing is with real estate, if you are working constantly, if you're constantly out showing homes, writing offers, we're making 400 or 500 bucks an hour. But the thing is, that's
Yeah.
not what we're doing. We're trying to find those customers, trying to find those clients, lead generating. That is the name of the game. And if you had customers constantly coming in the door, you'd be making lots of money. That's why people join a team. That's the attraction to join a team is we're overflowing with business. Come in. You don't have to worry as much about the lead generation. You don't have to worry as much about admin support. Just work with the customers, and that's why I was able to charge a cut of 50%.
So
So
okay, yeah. Because getting back to your team, so I know you have eight team members still, right?
no, I have 30 on my standard team currently.
Whoa,
Yeah.
damn. Okay, and wait, so does each one work like directly under you? Is it like every single person get a 50-50 split?
So I cut with them less now. So depending on the person, I take either 25 or 30%.
25 or 30, and then what do they get for the 25 or 30%? Like that you take?
Similar setup. They have admin support, one-on-one coaching and training, and leads. And so
But why? So I'm curious, and why do you take less now than before?
I spend less on the leads. So in the
Oh,
past, I was very heavy Zillow, realtor.com, and quite honestly, their prices went up through the roof. And so I cut them out completely.
wow. So how you getting the
I'm gonna
leads now
change
to
this
give to
light.
them?
It's bugging me out. Hold on a second.
Oh, is it moving? There we
Yeah,
go.
it kept
Okay.
blinking on me. It was
Yeah,
bugging me
that's
out.
okay.
So I put it on a static.
So how do you get the leads right now?
So right now we focus on open houses, social media, and online leads.
Open houses is free, obviously. Social media is free, and then what was the other one?
Online leads.
How do
So
you? What's that?
social media, nothing in life is free. Open houses cost money up front and time.
What's the money up front for that?
Oh, you need like 20, 30 signs, a couple
But you buy
flags.
those one time though, right? You buy them
Right,
one
money up
time and
front.
distribute them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
money up front.
yeah, yeah. That's honestly those kind of costs where you got to
They're
spend
pretty
50
low.
bucks on a few signs. It's pretty low. They
Yeah,
become negligible after a certain point.
yeah.
So I consider open houses completely free. You know what I
They're
mean?
pretty much
If you're
free.
making a $10,000 check, you're spending 50 bucks one time. You could use that for 1,000 open houses. That's like free in my mind.
Oh, they're pretty much as close to free as possible. The time
Exactly.
commitment is the harder part. People have to give up their Saturday afternoons, Sunday
Yeah.
afternoons. Although
Yeah.
you can host them on the weekdays, they won't have the same amount of traffic. Although I always tell people, bro, just office out of an open house on the weekdays. Why? Why office out of a real estate office when you can office out of a house where people might come in the door? Set up your
Might as
laptop,
well.
get Wi-Fi. If it's a occupied home, you should have Wi-Fi. If not, you can bring a hotspot with your phone, most likely.
Hotspot.
And then if you're doing computer work, you might as well do it from an open house.
Yeah, I mean, it's
And
not a
training
bad
too.
idea. Did you get a lot of leads?
Oh yeah, open houses. I averaged one closing every other open house. So
Oh, that's pretty good. That's not bad.
yeah,
How
that's
do you
pretty
how you
good.
getting these open houses?
Just from other agents mostly.
So
So
you'll just like
whenever
put out a feeler.
no, so you can do this. Every brokerage is different. I'll take EXP as an example because you're familiar with it, as am I.
Yeah, of course.
We
Yeah.
have KV Core, right?
Yep.
Now, KV Core has a option in there where you can see all of the EXP listings, Or if you're another brokerage that utilizes KV Core, you can see all of your brokerage's listings sorted by date. And it also includes coming soon. So KV Core is unique as a CRM, and that includes the coming soon listings. So you can also see the listings that aren't even active yet that are coming soon in your area.
Ooh.
And it has, in order, you see a picture of it, the price, and the listing agent. And it has their phone number. So all you got to do is wake up in the morning, look at the list, see if there's any homes that you like the look of, that look priced right, and just call the listing agent. You're going to be the first person to ask for the open house. Everyone else is waiting, sitting around, waiting for someone to say, hey, can someone host an open house for me on the stale listing that's been on the market 3 months? Instead, you call on day one and say, hey, can I host an open house this Saturday, 12 to 2? They're like, sure.
Dude,
no one else
that's a great idea. Yeah, dude, that's a great idea for open houses. I think you're the first person I've talked to that, because I obviously I do the rental, so I don't really deal with that many open houses. But you're the first person I said to use KV Core to reach out to your fellow agents. Because look, we have 90,000 agents in EXP Realty. That's a big network. That's one of the good reasons, right? That's a good reason of joining EXP is literally just what you said. There's so many different reasons why. Obviously, the rev share, the icon stock and stuff. I'm sure you're an icon agent.
Open houses,
but then the network.
Open houses are the number one reason I have stuck with a big name brand my entire career. So if you're a small brokerage, mom and pop, you're not going to have the listing volume that we have. It's just not going to happen. And if you want to host open houses, you need other agents. You can't just rely on your own listings because we're in a slim market right now, or a thin market, I think is what you call it.
Dude, the market sucks. The market sucks.
It's
so
rough.
Talk me through that then for your agents then. Talk me through that then, because the market obviously sucks now. You have the whole open house strategy. You're doing the buying and selling. I know the market's not great. How are they performing? How are your agents performing right now?
Just like they were before. I mean, you have agents that are not going to do well because they don't have the drive or the mentality, or they have a negative mindset. And then you have other agents that are absolutely crushing it. And they don't know the market's sucking. They have no idea. They don't know the difference. For them, market seems awesome because it's all about what you focus on. What you focus on expands. The market doesn't care what you think the market is doing. It doesn't care. There's people out there buying and selling every single day. Thousands upon thousands of homes are selling every single month. And the market does not care what you think is happening in the market. All that they care about is they need to buy or sell. They're getting transferred.
Yeah, I like what you said there, because listen, no matter what, it doesn't even matter if we're in a depression, a recession, a pandemic. I mean, people are going to be buying and selling regardless. Even if there's less people buying and selling, you know what I mean? There's always going to be some activity happening.
There's
so if you're
always
an agent
some
and you want it
activity.
bad enough.
And even if you look back in the hot market, like let's take 2020 for example, the hottest market I've ever seen. It was freaking insane. There were still agents failing. And 1% of the agents are still doing 95% of the business. If you know what you're doing, you can get that 95% of the business fairly easy. It's just the way it is. We don't operate an 80-20 rule in real estate. I think it's more of a 90-10. There's only 10% of the agents that are going to sell 90% of the properties. And all you got to do is do the right thing and grab a piece of the pie.
I like that you're saying that. So question then, what's your piece of the pie? I don't think I asked you before. I always ask everybody I talk to, what's your piece of the pie? How much are you making off of real estate right now?
That's a good question. I need to ask my CPA.
Average, just a guesstimate, just a guesstimate, how much you think you're making this year, because the year's almost over. We got 1 month left. What do you think you're bringing in this year from your agents and everything? Because I know you're not doing deals directly.
It's probably not much more than a couple $100K, honestly.
Couple hundred, about 200,000 this year, you think?
Yeah.
That's still pretty good. Listen, you have
it's
30
pretty good,
agents, right? Yeah.
Considering I don't sell myself anymore. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Dude, that's great. $200,000, 30 agents. Just for the listeners, just to get an understanding of what that means, right? Like, how many hours a week are you working to make 200 grand a year right now?
Less than 5.
Less than 5 hours. You're working less. That's 20 hours a week, and you're making $200,000 a year. Like, come on, you know what I mean? Like, that's, to me, that's absolutely phenomenal. That's like very, very close to passive income. Based off of your agents, right? Like, that's not even rev share. Dude, that's your
pretty passive. I get a lot of what I call surprise checks. I got one a couple weeks ago where I didn't even know something was closing. And I got an email from a title company. I didn't know the title company. I didn't know the address. They said, "Where do you want your check?" And those are
like,
fun.
my bank account.
Yeah, I want to
Wait,
in my
so
bank account.
well, right, my bank account, man. No, so because listen, you've been doing this 10 years, obviously. This didn't happen overnight. So, like your
No,
first
it
10
didn't.
years,
But
yeah, talk us through.
I've always focused on, I almost call it the lazy agent strategy. It's
Yeah.
how do you do more with less time? From the very beginning,
Okay.
even in
Okay.
2020, I said it was a great year, right? So in 2020, I sold 20 million. I recruited 54 agents and I went on 8 vacations. So
Holy
I was
shit.
still only working 5 hours a week and still and I made a lot more money back then too.
Oh, in
So it
2020. Yeah. Yeah.
it was a good year, but I was doing virtual everything. Like right when COVID hit, I started looking at what can I do, not myself. And that got me thinking I didn't have to show homes anymore. I didn't have to go on listing
Oh.
appointments. I didn't have to do any of that stuff.
So
And
this
so
was new.
this is a new
This is
thing.
new for you. Okay. So you're only
Yeah.
doing this a few years. I didn't know that. So your first 7 years, you were basically a solo agent doing it all yourself.
So I created a team 1, 2, 3, about 4 years in, I started with a team. I think that's right.
You made your own team. Okay. Okay. But it
Yeah, I made
wasn't
a
what you were
team.
still selling yourself.
I was still selling myself. Yeah. And then
And
I
this was
started
at, you said
stepping back from sales around 2020 is when I
2020.
stopped personally.
This was around
doing it.
Keller Williams time, right? You were doing
Yeah,
Keller Williams in your
I was still
first.
at KW. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And what made you switch over even just to EXP?
A couple things. Number one, my team was expanding and I started looking at expanding out of the market. And there was going to be additional costs with KW for doing that. Whereas at EXP, there was no costs for expanding markets. So now my team actually covers 3 states and 7 markets. And I don't have an additional cost for additional markets. And I
Keller
can have
Williams charged you for that?
Yes, because they're a franchise model. In order to join an MLS in a different area, you had to join a brokerage that was a part of that MLS. EXP is part of every MLS on the planet or on the nation rather.
Yeah.
And so if I
Yeah.
want to join an MLS, let's say right now I'm in South Florida, if I wanted to join the MLS in Tampa and I was at KW, I would probably have to join another KW franchise that had access to that MLS. And they would call that an expansion team. It was cheaper. I didn't do a whole lot of interviewing, but from what I understand, it's about $5,000 more per each market to add.
Wow, that's a lot. That's
It is a lot.
That's significant. And the EXP is free.
Correct. Yeah, there's no additional cost.
Jesus. Oh my God.
And I don't
And
even
I'm sure
have
you've hit Icon.
No, actually, I'm not an icon. So I'm not an icon.
Wait. How's that possible? If you did 200,000, because you only have to make 105 grand to hit Icon.
No, icon is based on transaction fees.
Well, the 20 deals. Yeah, 20 deals. You have to do
If
20
you're a
deals
solo
after you cap.
agent. So my transaction
Wait.
fees are much smaller because I'm only taking a 25% cut. Does that make sense?
So wait, but even no, it doesn't actually, because even at 200,000, if you made 200 grand, then because I'm sure you did over 20 deals, for that for 200 grand, right?
Yes.
I'm sure you did more than 20 deals. So then even if you take a smaller cut, that would still be $200,000 in profit. So you would still Icon as long as you did over 20 deals. No,
because Icon is based on transaction fees. So I only pay a 25% of the total transaction fee. Does that make sense?
Because I know it's 250 once you cap.
Right. So, but I'm not paying 250. I'm only paying
You're only
like
paying
$60.
25% of that.
Right. And you got to pay $5,000 in transaction fees to hit Icon. And so in order
5,000 in transaction fees. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, 20 times that's 20 deals. Yeah, 20 deals times 250. Yeah.
Yeah. So if I was paying the full transaction fee, then yeah, I would hit Icon. But I'm not. I'm splitting that transaction fee with the agents. So because all the agents are taking the hit of the transaction fees, I'm not hitting Icon. In order to hit Icon, I would have to sell like over 100 homes a year or something. It's
100 homes. Wait, didn't you sell 100 homes, right? Because if you made 200 grand and you took 35%, wouldn't that be 100 homes times 0.035%? Yeah, wouldn't that be unless I'm doing the math wrong on this.
You're doing the math wrong. Here, I'll give you an example calculation.
Yeah, give me an example really quick.
So if I was doing 100 homes a year, and let's say the average home price was $500,000, and you're getting an average of 3%, that's $1.5 million.
Let's say 2.5 because we'll keep it lower, right? So that's 1.25 million in profit.
That's
and then you
about
get 25%.
375,000. I would have to rake
Yes,
in.
$300,000. Oh, so
I'm not quite
so
there.
you're close. Oh, so you're
Yeah.
close. Oh, so you're close to Icon then.
Yeah, I'm close. I might be able to do it next
Oh.
year. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah, because
that's
you're 200,000, so you're about 2/3 of the way there. Yeah,
it's
because
a little
honestly,
bit
man, like
harder. It's a little
when
bit
you're a
harder
team,
when
I
you have a
guess.
team. Yeah. Because
Oh, because
you get a
I've
smaller
always
transaction.
iconed as a solo agent. Every single
It's
time I've
much easier
iconed
as a
as a solo
solo.
agent.
You sell about 28 homes
Wow.
as a solo agent, you icon.
Yeah,
When you're
which
running a
is yeah.
team, it's way harder to hit icon whenever you're only taking a smaller cut of the commissions.
Oh, that's interesting. So you have to make
Yeah.
that's interesting you said that because now I know you have to make about $300,000 through your team to hit icon.
And it could be a lot more. It depends on the cost of the homes because it's based on transaction fees, not commission. If that makes sense. So
Yeah, I
if
think
you're
it does.
selling a lot more homes, then you'll hit it faster than if you're selling fewer big homes.
Yeah, yeah, because I know just I just always knew the standard
They
number.
have
You got to
another
make 100
option,
grand.
which is if you earn over 500,000 in commission, you icon. So there's two ways to
Oh, they
icon.
do for a
Yeah, they have
team.
that. It doesn't matter who if you're on a team or not.
Oh,
If you sell over if you earn over 500,000 in commission and you have, I think it's over 10 sales you have to have.
okay, okay.
Basically, that's the
So you got to get
option
some big sales.
for
Yeah,
luxury because as your price point gets
yeah.
higher, it gets harder and harder to icon via
That's
transaction.
true. Because you need the 20 transactions no matter what, unless you
Yeah,
do the 500,000, like you just said. That's
yeah,
interesting. And for anybody that doesn't know us listening right now, Icon basically means you get $16,000 in free stock. The company will just
yeah.
gift you that 16 grand in free stock. So, and obviously that's awesome because have you iconed in the past, right, as a solo agent?
No, I'm new to
Oh shit.
EXP.
Oh
I
wait, when did you join the XP?
Summer of 2021, I
Okay,
think it
so about
was.
2 years now. About two
Yeah,
years.
yeah.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. So you'll get
So
there next year. Yeah, you'll
yeah,
get there
next
next
year,
year.
hopefully. This is my first year where I'm really pushing. So to give you kind of a little, I guess, short history of my recent history, I moved from Texas to Florida and I went AWOL. I stopped doing everything. I just
Wow.
literally went off the planet and I went back to solo agent, not selling squat. I just took a break essentially of everything.
Yeah, yeah.
And then January of this year, I had 0 agents on my team, and today I have 30.
What the hell?
So
How'd you do that?
that was just recruiting, honestly. I was recruiting agents, calling agents, getting them to initially seeing if they wanted to join my team. And if they didn't want to join my team, were they interested in, just joining EXP essentially? But my main thing was,
Oh,
hey, join my team. Well, this is what I can provide you. And so I
yeah.
grew the team really fast. In fact, I was talking to one of the local guys here. He was like, you only got like 25 people in your rev share group. I was like, when did you pull that report? It was like May.
What?
So like May,
That's a
May
lot.
of this year, I had 25 people in my rev share tree. All right, and then the new report came out. I was like, pull my report again, see what I got. And he pulled my
Yeah,
report
dude,
again.
that's
And
no,
then
that's good because I mean you're making a lot of money off of that. Like that's good just to get that in a
yeah,
year.
I'm
So like
curious to
I'm
see.
just
I'm curious to
oh,
see next year because it was so quick, essentially, that
yeah.
RevShare has about a 3-month trailing payout, if that makes sense. So let's say
Yes, it does.
you attract an agent on day 1, and let's say let's say miraculously they get a contract on day 2. They don't get paid until day 32. Well, you don't get paid on RevShare until day 62. And that's best case scenario is they get a contract on day 2 or day
Oh,
1. Most
yeah.
people won't have a contract on day 1 or day 2. It's just not going to happen.
30
Right?
days out. I see what
30
you're
days out.
saying.
So if you say
Oh,
30
okay. Yeah,
days,
yeah, yeah.
now we're looking at a 90-day rollover. So everyone that I brought in the last 90 days, I have not received a dime from essentially.
Oh,
And
so
so
next year is gonna be good for you.
next year should be good. I'm pretty excited.
Yeah.
Especially
That's
after the winter, because you're in Florida, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
Well,
most of
you're in
my
Florida,
guys,
right?
I am in Florida now, but most of my guys are in Texas. And
Okay, Texas.
Texas has a very heavy winter summer curve. I'm talking
Really?
like I would make 10 times more in the summer than the winter. And
Whoa.
so right
Wait,
now is
why is that
winter.
in Texas? Why is that? Why is
Um,
that?
so in Florida, you have the snowbirds that kind of counteract that effect, essentially.
Oh yeah, big
In
time.
Texas, everybody moves in the summer, just the way it is.
Summer. Is it hot in the summer there?
It is, but the kids are out of school. And so everyone doesn't want to
Oh,
move during school. So you'll get this mass rush in May. And we'll have
really?
it's crazy. Like my income would literally be about 10 times more in May than it would be in December. And
Jeez,
so
that's
it
is
was
that why you moved
crazy.
to Florida? Because we
No,
got a rush in December
no.
too. We got
I
rushes. The
moved to
Florida's like
Florida.
nonstop.
Yeah, Florida is there's no winter here. But I did find it interesting that you guys don't have that cycle. I was talking to an agent in Miami and I was like, "Are y'all like not busy in the winter?" He's like, "No, it's about the same as the summer." I was like, "That's really
Yeah,
weird." Like
dude,
in
it's just like
Texas, it's like chicken with your head cut off in the summer going freaking nuts. And then as soon as fall hits, it slows down. And by November, December, it's dead. Like
that's
straight.
weird, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
because like I've only done real estate in Florida, so like I'm just used to like just nonstop throughout the year. Like it's either the
Yeah,
same
it's
or
just
better every
constant.
single month for me.
Yeah,
It's
Texas
constant
is
all the time.
very cyclical. It's crazy.
Wow, I
In
didn't know
fact,
that
one of
because
the
a lot of
ladies I
people are moving
first
from
learned
California.
from, yeah, one of the ladies I first learned from literally took the entire December off every year. On December 1st, she would turn off her
Shh,
phone and there's no
didn't even
point.
need. Whoa,
It's like work, 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 work to get a quarter of the deals or just take a break.
I
That's
wonder
actually when I
what
got started in
rentals.
recruiting is I would start recruiting
Yeah.
in the winter because all
Oh,
those
that's
agents are
smart.
frustrated. The sales drop. And so it's like this is the time when people are thinking that
Who
maybe
did
they
you
should
call
reevaluate.
to get these agents to recruit them? How did you like? How did you get the numbers? Like, who did you call up the agents to do that?
There's different sources for that. So I have every agent's phone number. Start with that. You can find their phone numbers. There's lists of them. In fact, Texas used to have them publicly published, public,
Oh,
available phone number and email. But they
ooh,
recently passed a law and that's no longer public, which is actually awesome because I'm a Texas agent. I'm licensed in Texas, and I'm hoping that my spam calls will slow down. They haven't
yeah.
yet, but we'll see what
No.
happens. And so you can call them direct. We also use programs like Broker Metrics, which can
Okay.
track agent sales. Now it's not perfect because when you start talking teams and commercial, it gets all skewed. Like for
Yeah.
example, a lot of teams will roll everything through the team leader, whereas I don't. All my sales are on my team members. So, like, if you were to look me up on Zillow, you wouldn't see squat because I'm not selling personally. It's all my
That's
team
true.
members selling.
That's
Whereas
true.
a lot of teams will do the exact opposite. And so, when you look people up on Broker Metrics, you see all these people that look like they're selling nothing, but they're on a team and everything's being sold underneath someone else's name.
Oh.
So you get a
Oh.
lot of kind of issues with that. And so
Yeah.
sometimes we would call the zero salespeople and just ask if they're on a team. And if they're not on a team, we don't really want them unless they're new because if they're not selling
Yeah.
anything anywhere,
Mm,
I don't know. But if they're on a
not a good
team,
sign.
yeah, if they're on a team, maybe we can say, "Do you like your team? What's your team providing you? If you don't mind me asking, what's the split on that team for those
Yeah.
for what they're providing? Do you like it? Is it worth it? What if I could show you a
Oh.
hybrid model that is a lower split with just as much resources? Is that something
Yeah.
you might be
Yeah.
interested in?
And a
And
lot
so
of people have been saying yes to you.
a lot of people are at least open to exploring. And what I've tried to do is be different uh, and have a different offering than everyone else because everyone else is offering the same shit. They're like, oh, we got Zillow leads, we got realtor.com leads, get an assistant, and they're taking 50 or 60%. I was like, well, if I could take less, how can I take less? Let's start off with that because the money, the pocket is what hits the hardest. So let's take less right
Yeah.
out the gate. How do we support them by taking less? So that was kind of my initial thought
Open
process.
houses, right? Because you did open houses, social media, and then you said
Social
online.
media, I support with video editing and with what to
Okay, editing.
create. So I can't
Editing.
create the content for you. I can't make you film a video. I can't make you talk
Yeah.
to the camera. I can't make you go do a walkthrough video, but I can edit it for you. If
Do you
you
edit it
film the video,
yourself?
no, I have editors.
Yeah.
So I have a guy in Venezuela that does most of my
Yeah.
editing. I've tried
Oh,
some of
dude,
the
he's
other the problem with editors is they're a little bit flaky, and I have to keep finding new ones. I do edit myself. I can edit myself, but when we start talking about a little more scalability, I can't do it. It's just not
no,
feasible if I continue
not for
doing it.
30. Yeah.
No,
So
no.
what do? You basically just like do a reel or something, have them post it on their Instagram, and then they just start getting leads coming in that way, right? Typically.
That's the idea is to post videos on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. But a lot of people are posting the wrong stuff and they're not getting quality leads from it. They're just getting views. Some stuff will get good views and some stuff will create leads. And it really kind of
What's the
there's a little bit
difference?
of experimentation behind it to see what types of stuff not only gets views but also gets leads. Whereas you can create a video with very few views and get leads. So it's a trade-off, and some
Oh,
people are better at it. You have to like social media to even bother. If you're gonna post one video a week and you're not gonna go on there and be social on social media, there's no point. Um,
no.
there's no point at
You got
all.
to respond to comments, DM people back and stuff.
Yeah, you got to actually be social. The whole point of it is to
Yeah.
interact with people. I'm
Yeah.
I'm still newer personally to social media, even though I understand the value of it. I've researched it, and so we offer that as a service to help people with their social media. I'm not the best social media person. I only have a couple thousand subscribers on YouTube, a couple thousand Instagram followers, a couple thousand TikTok followers, but I have gotten
But you're
business from that
trying.
stuff.
Yeah, and you're
Um,
trying. You're actively trying to do it and like learn
Yeah,
more.
to some extent. I'm still newer. I've only had most of those accounts for less than a couple of years, except for Instagram. I've had Instagram forever, but I never really did anything on it. It's just kind of like it was cruising, 500
Yeah.
followers or whatever, and then I started being active. I got up to a couple thousand, uh, but
Nice.
but I got leads from it. I got business. I got
And
referrals from
and
other agents. I got
I'm
agents
just
reaching out.
curious then, because for the agents that are watching this now, they're like, oh, well, what's the difference between a wrong Instagram post or TikTok, video, compared to a right one? Like, what would you say attracts more leads to come in, to
So
get business, not for
the,
agents, business.
the biggest example for a wrong post is just sold, just listed, hire me, I'm the best on the planet. A
So that's
better
wrong.
That's wrong. Yeah.
Okay.
For right, it's what I call local expert content. So stuff like, hey, check out the downtown. Come check out this downtown area. Come check out this restaurant. Come check out this neighborhood. Let's walk around this neighborhood, and I'm just going to show you the neighborhood amenities and the average home prices. So as you're walking by the neighborhood pool, you can say this home right here just sold recently for $650,000. If you're curious, this one over here sold for $600,000. So this neighborhood is in the 600s, and this is the neighborhood
Oh,
pool. And the reason for that is going back to the market doesn't care of what's going on. There's always people moving and relocating, and when they're relocating, they're looking for the local expert. They're not looking for who just
ah,
sold the last home or who just listed their home. They're looking for the people that know the neighborhoods. Hey, I have a $600,000 budget. What neighborhoods should I be looking at? What schools are best around here? Where am I going to go hang out? And stuff like that. So you've got a lot of people that have done really well. The other things that actually do really well, but you have to be really consistent, are those walkthrough videos. If you've seen those,
yeah. Yes, I
um,
have. And they like boom, 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 keep
yeah,
cutting and chopping to the next little room or whatever.
yeah. So there's a guy that joined my team about 3 or 4 years ago. He had like 500 Instagram followers, and I just gave him a DJ at Osmo, and I was like, go film every new construction home in the entire Metroplex, all of them,
Yeah.
and start
Yep.
posting that stuff on Instagram.
And you would
And
edit it like the final cuts.
I actually didn't edit his stuff, and
Oh,
he edited it with Splice, I think was the app he was using.
I've heard. Yeah. Yeah.
And I've said the exact same thing to every agent that comes through my doors. Go get a DJI Osmo and go film all the new construction communities. But he was the first agent to actually do it. People would do it. They would, film 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 homes, post them on Instagram and TikTok, get a couple thousand views, and then quit.
Understand.
Fast forward,
Yeah.
he's got 120,000 followers on Instagram. He's grown his own team now. The only thing he does to this day is go and film new construction homes and put them on Instagram. And
Holy crap.
that's it. That's all he does. And he's, he had the time when he started to do it, and now he's got the money to
Yeah.
continue. And
And he could hire somebody to do it for him.
he still does it himself. He still does it
Shit, he must
himself.
like doing it. He must
He
love it.
likes doing it. He loves doing it.
Yeah.
I remember I'd go
Yeah.
out with him. He had a little drone that he had, and he would go and drone the new construction. Now, if you watch his videos, they've gotten a little bit better, but you can still tell he's doing it himself. Like, there's literally times where he starts the video introduction like, "Hey guys, come check out this, what 1.5 million will buy you in Frisco." And he's got the camera on a tripod. There's no one else holding it. And then the next clip is him walking through. He's no longer in the film. He's holding the camera. He's holding the camera at that point on his Steadicam, walking through the home. He's gotten a little bit better at editing. I'll give, it's nothing crazy. He just has walkthrough videos, but he hit that niche and he kept making those videos over and over, and the algorithm picked it up.
I got it. So basically he's going to do this, right? He'll do a little intro like this, like, guys, come with me and see this 3-bedroom, 2-bath for 500,000 and blah, blah, blah. And then he just does the showing, does it real nice and everything. Maybe put some drone footage in. And then for like the text on the top of the screen, he just basically says 3-2, 500,000, this area. He doesn't even put text on screen.
Nah. So every once in a while, he'll have just one text bubble at the very beginning of the price. And that's it.
Yeah.
This is what 1 million buys you, or whatever. And it has like $1 million. And that's it. And the intros are usually really, really short. If there's even an intro, most of his videos don't have intros, but
it's a good idea because then people see his face. I like that idea actually, because they see his face and then they can trust him more.
And what that's cool.
Done, how do they reach out to him though? I don't get it. Like, how do they find him to reach out to him afterwards?
On Instagram.
And they just DM him?
Oh yeah. So at the bottom in the description, he's got his name, he's got his phone number, and he's like, in the description it says call or text me for all your needs. And his niche is now new construction. And so people reach out if they want new construction, because that's what he's been doing is new construction, new construction, new construction. And new construction pays a lot, sometimes 4, 5, 6%.
I've seen crazy. 7 or 8, dude. I've seen some crazy numbers.
Yeah,
I mean, it's funny too because
it gets up there. I've seen that do really well, and I've seen a lot of agents take that exact same strategy. But the common denominator is they didn't stop. Most people will stop. It's like you're digging for the gold and you stop right before you get it because you're not getting the views. The algorithm hasn't quite picked you up yet. And you're stopping. And I'm guilty of that too. I'll go back and forth on social media.
Or it's funny too that you say that, because yes, exactly true. But then also you can have people that start getting some gold, right? And they're like, "Oh, I'm getting good results. I'm cashing some checks, making some money, got some clients now. I don't need any more." And then they just stop, and then they can't scale that way. They can't like grow really big. They can't double, triple every year if they're doing that. That was one of the big things I learned in my first year of doing real estate. I did like 80,000 in commission. Pretty decent for year one.
That's good for a first year. That's a lot.
Listen. I'm honestly disappointed with that, to be quite transparent. Listen, I was only working 5 hours a day, 5 days a week. That's it. Like barely working, right? Second year though, I was like, I had a little moment with my girlfriend, and she was like, "Listen, I know you have potential," and she inspired me. She was like, "Why don't you try working harder? Stop going to the pool at 2:00 in the afternoon and actually start working all the time." Right. So I was like, all right, let me try it. So I did. I started working like 12 hours a day, and basically I transformed that 80K into $250,000 in net commission after my first year of doing real estate.
Nice.
Which it's like not bad. And then that was good. I was still upset. I was like, you know what? I could be doing more. I'm still not doing enough, right? So because what I stopped doing, what we're just talking about, I stopped generating leads every single day. It would be like an every week thing, like once a week I would get to my leads, not every day though. Okay. And I still did 250K doing that method. I do rentals though, so it's different. It's a different beast. It's literally the easiest money you could possibly make in real estate doing rentals. So next year, right, year number 3, I was like, let me try to actually lead gen every single day. Let me actually get back to every lead every day, no matter what. I won't miss a day this entire year. And I did. And I made $510,000 in net commission, EXP icon agent, obviously kept it all. 510 grand after 2 years in the business. All I did differently each year, like I said, got to my leads more in my second year. And then my third year, I got to my leads every single day, never stopped generating. And then this year, did the exact same thing, except I started a team this year. So I'm not doing it as a solo agent anymore. Did a couple deals as a solo agent this year, maybe like 100 on my own this year. My team did the other 300. And basically, I think I'm going to close with 750 to $1 million. I don't know. We'll see what I close with at the end of the year. Yeah, but dude, it's just like a gradual increase. And the only thing I did is exactly what you were saying. I never stopped generating leads. I just kept going and going and going and going and going. No matter how well I did, I knew if I didn't stop generating leads, I would do better every single year. And it's working. Every single year, I am doing better.
So you focus on rentals mostly, huh? How do you generate leads on rentals? I wouldn't have a clue.
Yeah, dude, it's basically, I call it my any broker advertise strategy, my apartment locator strategy, my MLS private owner strategy. Yeah, whatever. You've probably seen one of my videos or my Instagrams or something like that. Cause I just like you, I just got on social media like 6 months ago. I was like, oh, I got to get on. Cause like you realized it a couple of years ago. I realized it this year. I was like, I am grinding and busting my bones, for what, to do this as a solo agent. There's going to become a certain time where I can't scale anymore because I only have 16 hours in the day. And that's what I was doing, man. Last year I was working 16 hours a day. And this year I was like, all right, let me get some agents under me. I'll give them a very, very good commission split. And then I'll just pick up a whole bunch of agents. They'll make a bunch of money. I'll make some money. And, it works. It literally works just by taking listings from the MLS or, apartment location and putting them up on Facebook Marketplace. That's it. I literally developed an entire system and strategy based on this. I think I was talking about it before off camera. That's the Cyber Monday deal. I was talking about when I post this is going to be the Cyber Monday deal is going to be long gone. But yeah, I literally create a program rich with rentals, and I literally teach. It's like a coaching program where I teach my entire strategy A to Z. Dude, I've done I don't know, maybe 50, 60, maybe 70. I don't know. At this point, maybe 70 plus coaching calls and coaching different agents 70 times. And they're all getting such incredible results. Even in Texas too. Dude, I've done so many one-on-ones. This is before I came up with my program. I was doing one-on-ones, and all these Texas agents are crushing it with rentals because I think actually what you said, now it makes sense why they're crushing it, because in the winter months, they're still doing business because everybody still needs to rent. Maybe they're not buying or selling, but people still need to rent.
The rental market, I don't think goes like this as much as sales.
It doesn't. It doesn't. It's crazy, man. Like the rental market's just, it's funny. I made videos on this. I'm like, the rental market's a straight line, always. It'll never dip below this line here, but it'll always go up. Its fluctuation is like never going lower than this line. Like house sales, there might be a center line, but it goes up, it goes down, below the line, back to the line, back up, back down, below the line. Rentals, literally, there's one line right here in the middle where you're like, it's like, all right, you're going to get like basically guaranteed rental sales every single year. Sometimes it might be better, and sometimes it might be average, but it will never go down low. That's why I love rental so much. Like it's just steady no matter what. Depressions, recessions, pandemics, no matter what, dude, you can always do a rental. So I don't know. That was my system and my, my last few years.
It's funny that you say that. I was talking, actually I had a meeting with a lender this morning, and he was telling me about a similar rental strategy. And I don't know, I've never looked at rentals. So a lot of this stuff was new to me. Like he mentioned any broker, which I don't even know
this lender. Do I know him? Who's this lender? What's his name?
Darian. I'll give you his first name, Darian. He told me not to tell too much.
Wait, Darian, that sounds very familiar.
Yeah, Darian. Dorian, sorry, Dorian.
Dorian Weber?
Yeah.
Dude, you know where he got that rental strategy from?
No, you?
How did I know his last name? Yeah, he got it from me.
No, that's funny.
Yeah, he got it from me. Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, man, I'm literally, that's why I'm making videos. That's why I'm teaching agents right now. Because, dude, I don't like seeing the 90% failure rate. There's literally, as you just mentioned before, what is it, like 10% does 90%
it's
of the work.
It's pretty high. The failure rate, they've stopped reporting the failure rate in real estate. The last time they reported it was 87%, and they've stopped reporting it, which means it's probably higher than that.
Probably higher than 90. I just say 90, just a nice even number, but yeah, it's probably higher than 90.
Sounds right. That's why I say 90.
Sounds right. Yeah, dude, I got sick and tired of hearing that like 90% of real estate agents are failing and there's no reason for it. You can just do rentals. Like if you do rentals, you're not going to fail. You will make plenty of money.
It's really interesting because I see the guys that are doing rental in my network, And even though I don't really know what they're doing, I know they're doing rentals because we see revenue share, we see the
I can
sale.
see it.
And so
Yeah,
I'm like, okay, that's a rental. And they're getting multiple rentals every month. Even though they're new, they're consistently getting paychecks and they're doing rentals.
exactly.
And
Exactly.
so
Guess how many the most I was able to do. This was last year. Just guess how many the most I was able to do in a single month by myself. By myself. No help.
I don't know, like 20 or 30 maybe.
Yep, 30. I think it was either 30 or 31. I can't remember.
That's not,
But yeah, it was
yeah,
like 30 deals. And
that's
literally no
wild.
VA, no transaction coordinator, no assistants, no agents under me, no team.
And
Literally
what are
alone.
rentals paying on average around here? Is it anywhere like
Two
half a
thousand
month or
dollars.
a couple
Half
thousand?
a month's rent commission, two
Yeah.
grand is my average. My personal average, I make around 2,000. I think last month was 2,100. The month before that might have been like 1,900. So like it's like steadily $2,000
And so
basically.
you've always focused on rentals, huh?
That's it from day one. Day one.
Yeah.
Like, listen, man, back when I started, it was 2019, like December of 2019. So actually, what's it now? I'm almost about to be on my 4 years, my 4 year
Nice.
like anniversary. And I started and I was like, oh man, I'm a brand new agent. I have no freaking clue what the hell I'm doing right now. I'm in a new state. I just moved to Florida like a year or two prior. And I was like, all right, I'm not gonna be able to compete with these listing agents, these buyers agents. They have a network built up. Like it's gonna take me so effing long to actually get up to doing 100,000 a year. One of my team leaders, or like not team leaders, what the hell is it called? Brokers. One of my brokers told me, they were like, listen, they were like, it's going to take you about 5 to 10 years to start making $100,000 per year. They're like, that's it. If you're lucky, if you get to that 5 to 10 years. And I'm like, what? I'm like, no. I'm like, no. I'm like, I didn't believe it. I didn't agree with it. And I mean, I know that's probably like true, but not for me. Not for me. I was like, no. I'm like, I'm not going to be that statistic. I'm going to figure out a different way to do this where I can grow a lot faster. And you heard my numbers before.
Oh,
I
that's
didn't get
super
there in my first
fast.
year, but dude, I did it so
Yeah.
I did it so fast, and literally it was because of rentals. Like that's why
Yeah.
I did it so fast. And every other agent can do this too. Like you've been doing real estate 10 years and you had no clue this even existed because nobody teaches it.
No clue.
There's
No one teaches
nobody.
it. It's everything's
What'd you say,
just
your old lady?
sales.
Sales. You said before this old lady in your brokerage had said, "Don't do
Our
rentals," right?
brokerage
Remember that?
literally said no to rentals. Our entire brokerage refused to do rentals. My first brokerage,
Fools,
which was
all
Coldwell
fools,
Banker, and
dude. They're fools.
yeah, zero rentals, zero. And then so I never looked at them at all. Now I'm not going to say that what I did was wrong or right, and
No, dude, you did well. Listen, there's two ways
I
to
mean,
skin a
sales
cat,
are
right? There's not,
sexy, right? I mean, you
dude,
can't get a six-figure check from a rental very often. I've
cannot,
gotten a
cannot.
six-figure sales check. And so it was, I mean,
Well,
but
it's funny you
that's
say that.
so infrequent. It's so
Listen
like,
to this. It's funny.
it's,
So all right. So I'll tell you my biggest rental deal. Right, it wasn't 6 figures. It was 5 figures. So it was something like $10,000 off a rental deal. The rental was like 20 grand. I make half of that. But
yeah.
guess what? That person, he actually became a friend of mine, really good friend of mine, great guy. And he bought a $3.4 million house with me from turning from a renter. He bought a $3.4 million house. I made $85,000 commission on that. That was this year.
Now I did have two rentals that paid a lot. It was, it was a Daimler relocation or two Daimler relocations. Daimler is the parent company of Mercedes. So
Okay.
I got hooked up with them, and Daimler as a company paid an additional 1 month's rent on top of whatever the rental paid. And
Woo!
these were the VPs. They were looking at $10,000 a month rentals. So,
Jeez.
one of them, I think I got about 15 grand from it. It was a
Wow.
$10,000 a month rental that was paying 50%, and Daimler paid an additional 1 month in commission.
Wow.
So as the relocation company, they gave me 10 grand, and then the listing gave me 5 grand.
I wonder why you didn't stick, like
I didn't stick with that because those were two deals that were fed to me, and I had no way of getting more deals from them, if that makes sense.
Well, there's always a way. There's always
a way.
Probably.
There probably is always a way. And
there's always a way.
It got my wheels spinning a little bit. I started thinking, okay, relocation companies can pay a lot of money, and these high executives are renting. And even I rented as a child. My parents, my dad, we moved around the world, and we lived in I look back now because I'm in real estate. I look at these homes. They were freaking mansions, and we rented them always. We always rented, and the company paid the rent. And
Yeah.
so there's
Well,
something
it's funny.
there.
Well, dude, even thinking about it, I'm sure you know Grant Cardone, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So his whole thing is don't buy a home for yourself. That's what he says. He
Yeah.
says if you're a person, family, he said don't buy a home. He said rent a home. And then I always wondered because we're in real estate and stuff like we
I think it's
typically we
different
wouldn't.
if you're renting. It depends what you're renting. So if you're renting at a really high price point, you get whatever the fuck you want, to excuse my French. If you
Yeah.
want, your kitchen redone, or hopefully the kitchen's already redone, or if you want to make upgrades, chances
Well,
are landlords
well,
want
it's
to work
not.
with you.
It's not even that. And
If
that
you're
that is
middle
that is a
price
point
point,
actually.
what you live in can be a little bit. If you own
Well,
it, you can fix it.
So I'll tell you his whole philosophy behind this, right? And I'm not saying it's right, not saying it's wrong. It's what he thinks. He's a billionaire. He
Yeah.
always says that, and this just like made sense to me recently. I was like thinking about it. I was like, wait, this makes sense. He was like, basically, if you rent a house for the same price, then you can buy a house, like your monthly mortgage payments, and your taxes, insurance, HOA fees, maintenance, and stuff, which you don't have to pay if you're a renter, obviously. If the equal, if they equal the same amount, let's just call it like $5,000 a month for the same thing, right? For renting and buying. Well, you don't have to put down up to 20% to avoid PMI, 20%. Or 3.5%, if you get an FHA, obviously. But even that, let's just say you're doing $1 million home to keep it easy, right? And let's just say you get away with doing 5%, then you get your PMI, which is going to suck because that's like what 0.3%, every single month, which sucks. But let's just say you're doing 5% of $1 million. That's what is that? $50,000. Am I doing that right or no? 5% of a
Yeah.
million. Is that
That's
50
50.
grand?
Yep.
Right? That seems low. That seems really low. That's it. You only have to put down
Yeah.
five. All right, well, whatever. So you have to put down 50 grand if you do a $1 million home. But if you rent, you don't have to put that down. That $50,000 that you were gonna put down, you don't have to put that down anymore. You can take that obviously and just rent the home, take that 50 grand. Obviously, you have to do first, last, and security, but it's gonna, first, you have to pay first anyways, even if you get, a home. So realistically, it's just that one extra payment, that security deposit that's just gonna be sitting there, not doing anything with, for whatever the cost of the home is. But you can take that rest of that money that you don't use for the rental. Maybe it's like an extra 40 grand. And then you can go and buy another home or two homes with that and then get a renter to rent it out to and then cash flow the money from it.
Yeah, no, I understand the theory. And it also goes back to, I think it's Robert Kiyosaki mentions, you have assets and you got liabilities. And he's saying that most homes are an asset except for the one that you're living in because no one else is paying for it.
Ah,
Therefore, it's a
I like that.
liability. And
I like
so
that.
I understand the concept. And
Well, think about this too. This is cool. This is cool. I'm going to forget if I don't say it. So, basically, if you have a client of yours, right? Client of yours. And I was thinking like, oh, probably not great for a real estate agent to tell a client this, right? But no, it's not right. Because listen, you get the rental, you can go and rent them a property that they're going to rent. Let's just say it's $5,000 a month. So you get half a month's rent commission for that. And then they're going to take the rest of the money they would have used to buy their own home and buy another home and then put a renter in there. So then you get that sale from them. Let's say, $1 million home. That's a $25,000 commission. So you get that. So now we're up to what? $27,500 commission. Then you take that because obviously they're going to use you to list their property out to a renter. You get another month's rent for that. That's $32,500 that you're going to make off of that one client where you would have only made 25 grand. And then you just did 3 transactions from one client. Think about that for a second. Let that marinate for a second.
that's good. That's good thought for sure. Yeah, no, I completely see the agreement behind it. A lot of people have an issue with that Grant Cardone mentality. I get it. It's really hard to understand why he believes in that way, and especially certain times of the year, like when the market was peaking. I'm renting right now. This house I'm renting in, it's
I'm renting
$4,000 a
too.
month.
Yeah.
It's an expensive home, and I was nervous as to whether that was the right decision or not. And the market did go down a bit, so it turns out it was the right decision. Now, if I would have bought, yeah, I could fix it up. Like my wife complains about the kitchen. I'm not going to go and redo their kitchen. It's just not going to happen. And
No,
so
you wouldn't do that.
no, so I can see why people would be willing to make a worse financial decision in exchange for having the ability to do whatever you want to the property because you own it and you can do all these updates to it without having to worry about what's going to happen if they want to kick you out in the future. And so
Yeah,
there's
dude.
that, which is why the higher
Yeah.
price point, it makes more sense because you get a more updated home, a nicer home that you don't want to update. Whereas like our home, even at $4,000 a month, we want to update it. It's not nice enough.
I know.
And
I
the
know.
landlord's
I
not going
know.
to update it. It's just not going to happen.
Mm.
So I
No,
think when
they'll
you get
yeah,
up to a
they'll
certain
take them
price
too long to
point,
recover.
and also like
Oh,
in
shoot.
certain places, it might make more sense. Like if you lived in New York, a lot of the rental pads are much nicer. And when you're in a complex, they will constantly fix things if they break.
Yeah, the whole rental market is just like really interesting when you think about that, for renters and buyers and everything. Like, I don't know, it's just something to think about for sure. So Josh, I know you've been doing real estate for a long time. You got your YouTube channel, you got your, like rev share, you got your team and your agents. Are you gonna come up with anything new that you're gonna be doing like moving forward?
So what's funny is my wife pulled me into the insurance game too. So she is a corporate trainer for John Galt Insurance. I don't know if you've heard of them. They
I
are
have.
actually, yeah, you have, good. They're the fastest growing insurance agency in Florida. And so they're still pretty small, but they're adding 10 to 20 agents a month, which is a lot.
Yeah,
And they have a
yeah.
ton of carriers. And I didn't know a whole lot about the insurance world in general. I just, everyone has to have it. Home insurance. I had my home insurance broker. Whenever we had a sale, I would just send it to the broker. I never really thought about how that side of the entire business operates. Whenever a home sells, a lot of things happen. And one of those things is an insurance policy is placed. And in Florida, it's sometimes hard to get home insurance with all the perils that we
Yeah.
have here, hurricanes and
Oh, yeah.
whatnot. And home
Yeah.
insurance is going up like crazy town. I think the last report
I know.
came out. It went up 40% so far this year on
Uh,
average.
yeah. Not great.
Yeah, but it's a requirement. If you're getting a mortgage, you have to get home insurance. And so I was like, well, this is interesting. I have a lot of time on my hands and I've, been taking a break. And she's like, you need to get your license and start seeing what you can do with it because you're already talking to agents left and right. They probably have home insurance people that aren't doing anything for them except, acting
Yeah.
like a hungry bird, like feed me, feed me. Whereas
Yeah.
I have knowledge at least to share. I can share knowledge on how to help agents do more business and obviously give them referrals and things like that because I'm not personally selling. And so I got my license, and it's turned out pretty good. It's been a fun adventure, and it's just something different. I'm kind of ADD, so I like bouncing around, doing something different. I did sales for 10 years and got tired of it, which is why we moved. We literally moved
Yeah.
from one state to another. I said, I'm taking a break and figure out what's going on. Got some passive income coming in. What else can I do now that I'm done with my break? And so I'm looking at insurance, and I've started, writing policies for that. And it's kind of a cool system because it's got a passive income to it. Once you write a policy, you're not getting paid tens of thousands of dollars, but you're getting paid every month. And as long as they renew,
Yeah.
you're still getting paid every month. And so
I
as you
like that,
build that
man.
book, it's growing. Kind of
It's
like
gonna
revenue
scale.
share. You you
Yeah.
you
And then
you you make it once, you make the sale once, and you get paid over and over there.
just boom, 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 boom. I like
Yeah.
that too because what you're doing, you're not focusing on different things. It's not like you went and opened up a restaurant where you had no
No,
experience in that.
I'm
You're doing insurance, real estate insurance mainly. You know what I mean? So like
that's the only
you
thing I'm
know that
focusing on.
industry.
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah,
focusing. We're
that's
not talking
cool.
life or health or any of that
Yeah.
jazz. Home
You're doing
insurance.
what you
That's it.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that too because I was thinking about the other day and I was like, real estate, I'm like, there's so many different aspects of real estate. Like you can open up, as a realtor, I'm saying, if you get your license, get good,
Yeah.
start making a whole lot of money and stuff,
Even
and you're
just on
bored of,
that,
let's
there's
say,
all
doing
these
it.
different things you can do, right? Like you're doing
Oh, just,
rentals. You
yeah,
can do,
rentals,
you
open
know,
houses,
new
FISBOs,
construction.
mailers,
Yeah.
door knocking, new construction. I mean,
It's
geez, there's a
it's just
million things you
wild.
could do as a realtor. Yeah, but then even if you're like, all right, I just don't even want to do sales anymore, boom, open up a team just like you did, just like I did, right? And
Yeah.
then maybe they're like, all right, well, not doing that much work on a team anymore because it's running like a smooth oiled machine. Then what? Then you're like, oh, let me get my insurance license and become an
Yeah.
insurance agent selling real estate homeowners insurance. And it's like, boom, do that. Like you can
And
do,
it's kind
oh,
of
let me open up
interesting
a property
because
management company.
yeah, but my clientele is not necessarily the end user, it's other agents and lenders now. And so it
Yeah,
went
which you
from
have a database of.
which I have a database of, and like we mentioned off call, you said you coach agents, and I don't do
Yeah.
it like publicly, Essentially, I do it more like one-on-one. And so now I have something to offer people. Like, hey, instead of giving
Oh,
your insurance business to this insurance agent that is really not doing much for you, they might give you a lead every once in a while that they get randomly.
yeah.
Now I can help you. I can. Okay, well, how are you generating leads currently? Well, have you looked at doing this, or check this out, or look at this software, or this is what works on my team.
Yeah.
Maybe it would work for you, and that way I can
Oh,
actually
good
help them
idea.
without charging them. It's just a referral setup. Like if
Yeah,
I
you
help
get a
you,
referral from it.
yeah, yeah, if you help enough people, you'll get what you want. So
Yeah,
it
just
allows
like
a
just
true
like you,
win-win.
dude. Yeah. You bring me an agent that, isn't making over 250 grand a year.
Yeah,
I'll give you a referral, to coach them and make them over 250K a year. Like
right.
same thing. Like everybody, helps each other out, which is really cool. Like that's my whole goal and philosophy now is literally, I just want to help as many agents as possible right now.
Yeah,
I truly want to get that 90% rate. I think our average is $56,000 is our average annual, not salary,
income.
just
Right.
income
Yeah.
for agents. I want to get that doubled to at least 110K, and I want to get that 90% down, man. I want to flip that. I want to flip
Oh
that to
yeah.
10%. That's what I
Yeah.
want. That's literally my goal and why I started doing this. Like I truly feel like every single agent could be making over six figures every single year.
They
If they
can.
just do the right
Isn't
things.
rocket science. And
It's not.
what I
It's not.
find is there's almost an overflow of information, and people get flooded with what to
Overwhelmed.
do. And so they're doing this, that, and the other, and nothing
Too
works
much.
because they're not
Yeah.
focusing on the right stuff. And
They
there's
can just
too
focus
much
on one niche.
noise.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, there's too much noise, and that's like a best case scenario is people are getting too much information, whereas a lot of agents aren't getting enough of what they
I
should be
know.
doing, and they're
I
doing
know.
the one thing they're told to do by their broker, which isn't working because it worked 20, 30 years ago or whatnot.
Exactly. And they stopped doing real estate deals 20 years ago and they don't know what the
Yeah,
hell they're talking about now.
yeah. So
They could
now
do
you have
it's listen,
to you got to look at what's
brokers
working
are
today.
amazing. Listen, like the whole broker thing, like you should not, in my opinion, if your broker's not making, a few $100,000 a year minimum, why would you get advice from them on how to make money? You don't. You get advice from your broker on what to do legally, like to stay out
Yeah,
of trouble legally, like you like the rules and the laws of real estate. That's what you get advice from your broker. Like you do not ask your broker for money making advice. Like that's what a coach is for, that's what like learning information is for that way. But your broker, they're a great resource and tool. That's even honestly, that's why I like EXP so much. I have
that's a
so many awesome brokers,
huge benefit of EXP
dude.
is that
So many brokers.
we have not only do we have so many brokers, but the way that it's broken down, like you mentioned icon agents, part of the requirement to get your $16,000 stock is you have to teach a class. And so all
Yeah,
those classes that these agents have
yeah,
access to are from these agents that are making tons of money, and they're in the
like me.
top 2%. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I
You're
teach a
learning from
class.
these
Yeah, I
people.
teach a class. Yeah, I
Yeah,
teach classes to
exactly.
agents to actually teach them how to make money.
Yeah.
You're right. That's another
And
point
those
of EXP I
classes are
forget about. Yeah,
daily. There's like two or
yeah,
three
it's
icon
daily
classes
and it's
every
free.
single
It's free,
day.
100% free.
Instead of learning from a broker who is a
It's broker
one-stop
than you.
shop. Yeah. So
Yeah,
you have like the mom and pop shops. The broker is selling, they're recruiting, they're teaching, they're doing all that. Instead,
yeah,
it should be compartmentalized. There's too many different
yes.
things, and there's too many different
They're
things
wearing
you
too
can
many
be good
hats
at.
at different brokerages.
Too
Yeah,
many
that's why EXP
hats.
is so great, dude.
And it's not a one size fits all.
It's not like I'll call my broker up and I'll be like, I have a problem with this deal or like this other agent stole my client from me. Can you help me out? And then boom, they get on the phone with their broker and then they get my commission back. Like they
Yeah.
do things like that. They're looking after your best interest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I don't know. Like that's why I think EXP is so amazing because they do compartmentalize all the different aspects of every single agent's job, like
Yeah.
brokers, team leaders, the mentors, the icon agents, the actual associates, like everything. And then we have like CFOs, accounting departments, this and that. Like it's just,
It's a
dude, everything is
machine.
just like
It's a
it's a
really
machine.
well-oiled
It's
machine,
yeah.
and it's been
I
set
truly
up so perfectly that
oh
even the
dude. eh,
copycats can't compete.
Can't
Not
compete.
at
Can't
all.
compete. What's that stupid? I won't even mention their name, but there's a stupid one that came out that's trying to copy us, and
Well,
they're just
there's
full of baloney.
they're coming out of the woodworks left and right now. So they've got
Yeah,
I know of 5 so far, and the thing is, the more of them there are, the more is just noise.
I
It's
know.
just And they're starting to say the same thing. Oh, get in early with us, get in early. Well, they're all competing for that same pie, which is now smaller and smaller and smaller.
Yeah. And we've already done it right the first time. You can't compete with a 90,000 agent network now. Like, it's too late. You know what I mean? Like,
now
we've done it right,
we're
and they're
so
doing it
far
right.
ahead. We're making money that we're investing in our agents. We're buying up like software systems left and right. We just recently bought the big search portal in Canada. People don't realize we own the largest IDX feed on the entire planet.
Dude, we just got ranked. Did you see that article today? We just got ranked. EXP got ranked like top like 30 or something in the whole, like, I don't know, whatever world about like technology based companies that are buying up. Like, I can't remember the exact article. I just read it briefly, and it was something like we got ranked because we're buying up tech companies.
Oh yeah, we're buying up tech companies. We're starting different tech systems. We just started Success Spaces, which will allow, it's pretty much like Airbnb for co-working is the best way to describe it. So now other people can rent out their office space to anybody using our systems. So it's just, now that we have the money coming in, we're able to invest. And the coolest part about it is that we are the owners. You and I own the company. We're not. It's not like we're just agents. The longer you're here, the more you own.
More stock you'll have. Yeah, dude, I think I have like 7,000 or 8,000 shares of stock just in my first few years. Right? Just my first few years. Like, just like what the hell? Like, and I know for a fact one day, because our stock went up to $160 a share.
Well, it went up. It went up more than Tesla. It went up more than like in that year, we went up 20-fold in 6 months. And for some reason, people didn't talk about that. And they only talked about, what happened after. Obviously, we can't sustain that. Nobody can go up 20-fold in 6 months and continue that. It's just insane. And obviously, there was a lot of other things that came down at the same time. So
I think it's going to get back though. I think within the next 10
years,
I think 10 years, maybe, I don't know, 5 years, 10 years.
I don't want it to go up yet because I'm not.
No, I want to make that stock. Yeah, I want to make the Icon stock now.
Yeah,
I want to get more Icon stock for the next few years.
I would say
I want it low.
Yeah, best case scenario is it goes up with inflation, like 3 to 4% per year. But that's not going to happen. It's a stock market. It's going to go up and down.
Yeah.
If it goes up, people join for whatever reason. They get excited and they join. If they go down and people are like, "Oh, you should not join because the stock's going down." Realistically, we want the stock to stay steady until retirement, until you want to sell it. And if it's going up and you're earning it, you're just you're earning a little bit less each time. Yeah, it's money, it's bonuses.
Like, dude, and the best part is, like, of course, obviously, if you get the Icon stock, that's 16 grand. You don't even have to pay taxes on it until you sell it. Like, that's the best part. Like,
and you can earn a lot more than that. So I earned.
Rev share.
Even though I didn't earn Icon, I still got. It was about 12 grand in stock my first year.
Whoa. Because of the 5% of your commission check.
No, because you get $400 on everyone's first sale.
I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, so you get there's 5 ways to earn stock at EXP. Number 1, on your first sale every year, you earn a $200 stock bonus. When you cap every year, you earn a $400 stock bonus. If you're a solo agent and you sell 20 homes after capping, you earn a $16,000 stock bonus. You can opt in to a 5% purchase of stock at a 10% discount. So you can buy stock at discount. They max that at 5%. You can't spend that unlimited. If you don't want it, you can resell it the very next month.
I would have done 30%.
Take that 10% or keep it. The final way is when you attract an agent to EXP, not only do you receive revenue share on their sales, you get a $400 bonus on their first sale.
Whoa!
So that $400 bonus can add up pretty quick.
Damn, I'm going to start attracting more agents.
Yeah, my first year at EXP, I attracted, I think, 55 agents. And then, and I've brought in
12 grand off of that. That's nuts.
Well, they have to sell. On their first sale.
Just one. Yeah, just one.
Yeah, so just one. They just need one sale. And then, so that adds up as you bring in agents and they make sales.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I didn't even know. That's so weird. I've been with the EXP for years. There's some things
I still learn stuff new every day. I didn't know about the military department until just recently. I didn't know about the seller leads. We have seller leads now.
No, I didn't know
Yeah,
that either.
I didn't know about that either. I started getting them too. It's kind of cool.
Oof.
I didn't know about the affinity program. We just partnered with JP Morgan. Who's JP Morgan? I don't know. Only like the
Chase?
largest bank on
Yeah.
the planet.
Right?
And
Wait,
so
what did they
now,
partner with them for? What is that?
oh, believe it or not, people apply for mortgages before they get an agent.
Oh,
And when
shit.
that happens, that agent, or I'm sorry,
The
that
lead.
buyer is now a lead.
What? So now
Yeah.
we're getting leads from JP Morgan?
Yeah, from what I understand is now
Hey,
we get leads from JP Morgan. That's through the program. It's called the Affinity Program.
Infinity
It's
Pro.
part
Dude,
of the relocation department.
that's the craziest thing because like EXP is constantly just coming out with new stuff. Like it's not like they're staying
Yeah,
stagnant. They're always innovating. Like that's why, dude, I literally get approached like probably 10 emails a day to
yeah,
join somebody else's brokerage. And I'm like, what never, ever, ever.
yeah. No, you've got that, and I'm curious to see what they do with Zoocasa because Zoocasa, which was I think the third largest search engine in Canada, they purchased it, and now they're going to open it in America as well. So
What?
essentially, we're going to compete with Zillow and Realtor.com directly with
Woo!
the search program.
Really?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah. It's
That's
new.
crazy.
It's new.
Why is every single agent not with EXP? It doesn't even make sense to me.
Mainly, the reason they're not is because they don't know enough about it, and
Oh,
because, like you said, you've been with it for years and you don't even know some of this stuff. And even
that's true.
I don't. It doesn't matter how long you've been with them. There's still stuff you don't even know about it. And if you don't want to know about it, if you don't want to research it, you'll never find out about it. You'll never even know what you're missing. And
I'm gonna
so
call
that's why
because
they're not.
I'm friendly with some of the executives. I'm gonna call them up and tell them that like, hey, we gotta do a little bit more marketing. You know what I mean? To
Well,
get these
there's so
more agents
much,
informed.
and that's the problem with marketing is you can't flood people with information because you don't know what they're
That's
interested in.
true. That's
And
true.
and that's why the model explain video is considered the gold standard because even though it's 30 minutes, it gives a more it doesn't give a full picture because there's still stuff that's not mentioned. It gives a
Yeah,
bigger picture. Whereas if someone's just like, hey, what's your commission split? That's literally like 1,000th% of what we
that's
are.
true.
What's revenue share? I don't want to recruit agents, or I don't like the
Yeah, you don't
stock
have
market.
to,
I'm
right?
scared of
Yeah,
stocks. Well, that's
yeah,
just
dude.
one
There's
little tiny piece of what we
yeah.
have. And when you start
Wow.
compiling everything else, like, oh, you guys got that too.
There's
Oh, you
just
got that, and you got that, and that. Oh, what's that? I didn't even know that existed. Well, we got it.
Jesus. Yeah, I mean, dude, I personally think best real estate company on planet Earth by far. No close second whatsoever. Because you
No,
were with Keller Williams, you understand. I got lucky.
yeah.
I joined EXP from day one, so I got
Oh
lucky.
man, if
But yeah, I'm
only.
gonna be with them till the last day.
Yeah, I
But Josh,
regret
I gotta
not
actually,
joining earlier,
I
but
gotta,
that's my only regret.
yeah. I mean, I'm sure I hear that from a lot of successful agents. So I gotta run now. I had a 1 o'clock and I'm late.
Yeah, no worries,
But
bro.
dude, yeah, dude, where could people find you?
Instagram, YouTube. Just search my name. Everything's on my name, Josh Marriott. Yeah, Instagram, YouTube. I mean, I'm on TikTok too, but that's more just for like fun, really. There's some stupid videos on
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, everybody, subscribe to Josh, Josh Marriott, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, I'm sure. I'm going to drop a link in the description to subscribe to him. Josh, thank you so much, for coming on. I mean, you even taught me a whole bunch of stuff about EXP that I didn't even know about the company I've been working for 4 years. So like, you were just a wealth of knowledge and, a lot of agents can learn a lot from you. So again, man, thank you so much for coming on. And if you ever need anything, reach out to me, obviously. And, until next time, guys, hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, drop a comment below. Let me know what you thought, if you learned anything, what you liked, what you didn't like. And that's it. I'll catch everybody in the next episode.
All right, sounds good, Andy. I'll talk to you later.
Bye.